Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday showered praises on Meghalaya resident Brian D Kharpran, who along with his team has discovered over 1700 caves in the state. EastMojo caught up with Kharpran, who shares his journey since his first expedition in 1964 and how the state needs to be prepared at a time when the caves are attracting a large number of tourists.
So today I have with me Mr. Brian D Kharpran, and he was recently applauded by Mr. Narendra Modi as well regarding his achievements. So we would like to talk about his journey. So sir, firstly I would like to ask you, what inspired you, to pursue, and when was it? What was the time?
Well, it's rather a difficult question, but I think the spark was in 1964 when we had a school picnic just before the matriculation would start. So we went to Mausmai, and then I learned of this cave there. That time it was wild, all jungle. And so I tried to get some of my schoolmates interested, but none of them would want to accompany me. So I got hold of two local boys, and they fashioned a bamboo kerosene torch. And that's the first time that we ever went into a cave, explored the cave. So that was my first time. And that was actually a result of my reading stories. And one of the books that I read in those days was by Mark Twain, Huckleberry Finn. There it describes about a cave where these boys, got lost actually. Yeah.
So, sir, would you like to share any memorable experience while the time you were on the exploration?
That is a tough question because all caves, that I have explored, all memorable. And you look at the cave as you see the entrance. Now you don't know what is inside. Whether it's a big cave, huge cave, whether it ends, after a few meters. You don't know the obstacles that you can come across. But the expectation in you is that you are going to enter into a cave. You are going to see beautiful formations that will make you happy. You are going, at least for me, I feel that every time I enter a cave, that this cave will never end. And it will go on and on and on. That is what I actually expect. So to actually express about some memorable time where I did experience in the cave, it's rather difficult. They all have their own beauty, their own, happiness in it.
Okay, so till date, how many caves have you explored till now in Meghalaya?
I think around 1,750 caves that has been located, identified. But there's so much more to be discovered. Every time we go for our expedition, we will discover more and keep adding every year. So out of these caves that we have discovered, we have explored about 1,100, yielding a total cave passage that we have mapped at 537 kilometers.
That's great. So, what are the safety measures and precautions that you take during your expeditions?
Well, like any adventure activity, they're all fraught with risk, So you have to have certain precautions. Similarly, with caves also, you have to have precautions and you abide by them. So the first thing is that you have to have proper lighting, because without lights you get lost inside. You cannot actually come out of the cave if your light goes out. So you have to ensure that your lighting is sound and safe, and you have an extra one of that too. You have proper equipment, boots, and you don't rush into a cave. So you take your time, because there are a lot of obstacles, there are deep pitches, there is a lot of water we have to swim. So all these has to be encountered, and with proper uh, guidance, proper rules, you should be able to get through all these.
Okay, so like cave conservation is a vital, is vital to preserve. So what do you have to say about it? Preservation.
Cave preservation is very, very important because caves are archaeological natural assets. They are scientific resources. And if they are destroyed, they're finished. They're irreplaceable. You cannot have them anymore. So you cannot destroy such priceless heritage assets. And as I said, that they are scientific resources is because of the wealth of cave fauna or other scientific mm, parameters that you can look into inside a cave. It holds the key to the past, actually, whether it's about human, whether it's about past animals, past plant life, or whether it's about the geology, the morphology, or the cave life. Well, basically, it will be rather like a sport, an adventure activity that you would like to take up. But I always tell young people, whatever it is, whether you want to go into caving or you want to go into mountaineering or you want to go to any adventure activity, have a passion for it. Unless you have the passion, nothing works. So that's one. Number two, in terms of making it as a profession, then in that case, you have to be a researcher, a biologist, or a hydrologist, or a paleontologist, or whatever. So you are studying certain aspects inside a cave. So there are two parts of this. Yeah.
Okay. So, and lastly, I would like to ask, Mr. Narendra Modi, he applauded you and your achievements. So, what would you like to say? Because it's a, great honor for Meghalaya as well. And so, what would you like to add on to?
Well, for me, yes, I'm happy and proud. It has been a great thing. But I'm more happy because now the association, the Meghalaya Administration, has been recognized and applauded as such. It's been 31 years since we have been exploring caves. And there were times initially when we had to struggle. But we have come a long way. And the end is not close by, it is still far away. There's so much more to be discovered. And there's so much more to be done. And that the government of India, that the Prime Minister has recognized us, will give a fillip to what I have been propagating all along, that these caves need conservation, need protection, because they are fragile, they hold a wealth of scientific information, and for the scientist and for the adventurer, of course, you are going into the unknown where no man has ever stepped before. So it holds great promise for the future. And so for the government, yes, mining and whatever it is can go on. Development must take place, but there must be a balance between both sides. Yeah.
So, and one more thing, what are the challenges that you have been facing, regarding, since you have talked about the association as well. So it's been 31 years. So you must be, facing a lot of challenges regarding this one, because at the time you have started this, I think no one was aware of this kind of so would you like to just highlight some few points about it?
Well, basically now that our caves have been, because of social media, everybody knows about them, and cave tourism is growing like anything. A lot of people are coming for cave tourism, and a lot of people are forming small groups, small tour operators taking people in. Now that's where the problems will arise. Okay, so I fear that accidents are bound to happen at some point of time. So we, as responsible uh, cavers, are aware of it and have to be ready for such eventualities. So, so we have to be prepared, have proper equipment, so that if any mishaps fall to anyone, I know that we will be called for such rescue missions. We must be ready for it. So that is the main problem that I foresee that will happen. So as it is, we are in the process of getting ourselves into readiness for that.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for talking to us, sir. It's a great pleasure, and I think Meghalaya will be, really proud of you, for you and your achievements. Thank you so much,
you.
sir.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to East Mojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.